Hello there, Receptive Radio community. Today I'm talking about space, not the final frontier, but the actual space you need to integrate major transformation, a big change, a space to process, space to listen, space to talk. I'm talking about space today. So, why am I talking about space? Well, this week I have given myself a ton of space to integrate an event I was at last week where it was all about your soul seat. Like you were given an opportunity to share what's going on with you, what you want to change, what you're ready to change, what you need help to change. And it was a very significant process. And it was 4 days long. And while I was there, I was feeling energized and open and inspired. Lots of stories and witnessing other people about what they want to change really resonated with me. But it created a lot of big energy and a big process for me because this week I am tired. I am processing, and it doesn't matter how much coffee I drink. I'm there's something that is needs space. And so instead of pushing myself and making myself do things that can wait or forcing myself to try to figure out what's wrong with me, I'm just giving myself lots of space. So I want to just talk about how space works in the terms of you, your body, your mind, your heart. Because I've been doing, it seems to me since, for the last year, I've been contemplating this, working with this, understanding how spaciousness works intimately. And if anyone else has ever gone into this contemplation or practice of understanding the difference between having no space to grow and space to grow, put a yes in the comments. So when I first left accounting, like the next day, I had so much space to receive information about my next steps. And I needed that space because all of that space that was taking up my intellectual faculties or all of my energy to get work done and serve in that way was taken up. And I couldn't get the next step on where do I focus in my business because I was, under a contract for somebody else. So I realized that, oh, wow, when you actually make a definite move and turn off something that takes up a lot of space, you can get more space for something else. And then that made me look into how it works for worry and anxiety and stress, how that kind of mental energy takes up a lot of space. It takes up space inside your mind, inside your energy, inside your body to operate. Like if you're stressed out, you're going to have a lot of tension and body aches. And I was experiencing that a lot when I was in work where I was constantly typing and mousing and all that kind of stuff and carrying a lot of weight on my shoulders. And now I don't really get that tension anymore, but it took a lot of time to unravel. So it's like I've been witnessing myself and this concept of space. And I've been witnessing it in other people as well. And that, we recently bought a property that has a lot more space. It's over 1 acre. And we're going to create spaces to have places so we can both work from there, and I can have retreats and VIP experiences for clients. And now really we have to take like the next step. We have to get out of the space that we're in and into that space before I can actually like receive the ideas to create that new space. And so it's really fascinating, I find, this concept of space. So if you don't give yourself any space, I feel like you have no chance to receive the inspiration, to receive the download, to receive the next step. We kind of skip over it and barrel through and push or force the change we want to have happen. Even this morning, I was in a networking group early in the morning. And then I went upstairs to see my partner because I hadn't seen him yet. And he just needed some space to vent. And so I sat there and I listened to him, and I just didn't even I didn't judge it. I didn't question it. I didn't try to interrupt or try to get him to change his attitude. I just, listened so that I gave him space to vent. And it wasn't about me. It was about his work. And then just before I got on here, he called me because he had some space and time to tell me thanks for listening. I didn't he made space to come back and say how are you? I know that this is, I'm going through some stress. Thanks for listening. You're so good at listening and that kind of thing. And so I that's how the space worked. It worked for him, for me to give him some space instead of saying, excuse me, I don't care about your BS and I don't want to listen right now. But I gave him 5 minutes of my time and space to let him vent. And then later on, we got a 15-minute conversation where it was back and forth ideas, where are you at with this? How's it going for you here? And it made some room for us to connect in a conversation. And so how often do you not give space to other people to have the room to tell you what's going on for them? Because I feel like that's something that a lot of us don't have enough opportunities. Right, we can suffer in silence for a long time before asking for help because we don't think that somebody's going to give us any room to express ourselves. And so then we hold on to the issue that is bothering us, and we don't take any space of anyone for help. And this isn't helpful. This isn't helpful. So, there's lots of people out there who are self-sufficient, and I'm one of them. And one of my things that came up for me last week when I was in this space in Colorado doing my work, personal growth work, is that I don't take up a lot of space in asking for help when I need help. And so that kind of gets me into a stuck position because I will try to figure it out on my own and get up in my head about it, potentially. Or I'll try to just make things happen. And usually they don't the way I want them to. So this week, I have been giving myself a lot of space to integrate what happened last week, because it was big and it was a lot and it wasn't bad. It was all good. And just how do I move forward from that transformational opportunity to where I'm going now? And that means that my body has been tired, and I have been listening to it. instead of ignoring it. So my body and my mind and my heart have needed a lot of space this week to like energetically process what I went through last week. And I haven't been forcing myself to write posts or do a lot of marketing. And I've been giving myself space instead of forcing myself forward. And a few things good happened because of that. I got asked to speak at a networking group next week. Wasn't on my calendar. And I didn't have to like work for it or push for it or anything. It just like came into my lap. Another thing that happened is I didn't plan on, having time to ask for myself some things that I needed. And the space got created without having to like force or push or like make an appointment. And I just have been really giving myself a lot of space by tuning into what I need in the moment, And a lot of that has been doing tune-ins. So I want to take us through a practice of tune-ins because it's really important to listen to yourself, to listen to what your body needs, because your body's a really good biofeedback transmitter. And it's giving you indications that something is going on and it wants you to do something to help it process it. So like if you get a body pain, it wants you to stop running 5 miles a day or something like that. We see in the horse races a lot, if a horse, this isn't happening to us right now, but sometimes things don't present themselves on the surface and it's inside and we can't see it. But it will show up in your performance. And so, we'll watch a horse race sometimes and we're like, why can't that horse, finish? Or like, what's the problem there? And, whatever we do, we can't figure it out until all of a sudden, like the horse gets sick, and so you need to give yourself some time and space to let whatever is ready to present itself to you come to the surface because it's deep inside of you. And that goes for your desires and for what you want. And that goes for what's in the way of what you want. And tuning into yourself regularly on a daily basis, if that's possible for you, is really good. You don't have to take a lot of time, but I like to take a lot of time this week to go into myself and just meditate or do a practice that helps me to connect with inside myself. Because the answers aren't outside of me. Like they're not on the news. The answer I'm looking for myself is not in the news. It's not necessarily in a book either. And I found most of the answers that have been coming to me have been in my dream time and have been in conversations with myself or in journaling or in closing my eyes and breathing. And so tune in gives you the opportunity to tune into yourself quickly, a couple minutes, and then you can check in with yourself to see what's going on. And then you can make a choice after that. And so let's do a tune in. So close your eyes, you sit comfortable in your chair and take a deep breath. And then turn your gaze inwards. So imagine that your eyes are looking inwards towards the back of your head. And then just start guiding your vision, your inner vision and your breath down into your face from the inside. And you may have lots of thoughts coming up. Just watch them, notice them. And you might be tightening your face, or you might be getting choked up. Maybe you're coughing all of a sudden. Just notice that as you look inside yourself and go down into your throat area. Then come into your shoulders. Go down each arm. Go down the right arm. Down through the elbow. Down into the wrist and into the hand. Inside the fingers. Just noticing what you sense or feel inside your body. And if this is difficult for you to do, to use your imagination and inner vision and stay quiet for a couple minutes, just notice that. And then come back up your arm and maybe go down the left arm now. Just looking inside. Notice if I say wrist, does your attention go to the wrist? And can you feel your wrist? And then come back up that arm and go into your heart space, into your physical heart, right above your lungs. And as you're breathing, just check into your breathing. Is it loose and flowy, or is it tight and constricted? And then go down into your torso. Maybe look into your spine. And then maybe look into your liver, your kidneys, your stomach. Maybe it's growling because it's lunchtime. Just notice it. And then just go into your hips, down into your thighs. Just scanning into your knees. Just noticing your leg muscles in the lower legs. And then going into your feet. And then just noticing your emotional body. How are you feeling right now? Are you feeling really good, or are you feeling negative about something bothering you? Without changing it, without trying to fix it, you're just checking out what's going on with you in a few minutes. And then just noticing your mind, your thoughts. Have they been very busy while we were doing this, or were they pretty quiet? And just noticing, was this hard for you or easy? Or does it take up too much time and space in your day? And so thank you for doing that with me. So I've realized that when I do this for myself, when I put a bit more attention on myself to notice what is going on, like why am I feeling like I am, or which is either good or bad, like, ooh, why am I feeling so good? Or why am I not feeling so good? Why am I tired? just, presenting yourself with questions without having to have an answer intellectually, just more looking inside to notice what is going on with yourself so that you can check in with yourself and then decide what's next. It creates space. It creates space inside of you. It creates space for movement. It creates space for things to just come to you as well. And so I've developed a live guided practice because we all need to take a bit more space for ourselves consciously. And every week for 30 minutes on Tuesday and Friday mornings, I guide a group, a community of people in a practice to take up space for themselves, to put themselves first at the beginning of the day, and to be very connected with yourself so that your day goes the way you want. And you can instantly get feedback about yourself and set up your day for success. And I want to invite you to try out my free trial. I will put the link in the comments. And it's a 2-week free trial where you can come and get an experience of it for 30 minutes, 4 times, and to see if it's something that works for you. And over consistent doing this practice, it has catapulted me forward. It has created so much presence, so much space, calmed the mind, cured anxiety, settled stress, and it gets you into an opportunity where you can heal, you can make choices and decisions clearly when you're presented with opportunities. And so I really encourage you to try it out for free and join us, because as this community grows, the support of it grows. And that's what space needs, is more support. We all need more support and like-minded people to connect with. And that's what this community is all about. So I'll put the link in the comments. The practice is called Earth Force Activation because it's all about getting grounded in who you are, connecting with the earth, and becoming present to your desires and having an opportunity to give space for them to flourish and thrive because they're inside of you. And it's important to pay attention to what's inside of you so it can grow, so it can get created. So thank you so much for being with me today, Receptive Radio community. I really appreciate your time and space that you gave me. Have a great day.